Boom, what's going on, Warriors? Welcome to Boom Athletics. I'm Sean Seberg. We're going to go over an exercise demonstration today of a bent over barbell row, or what I like to call a BOBB row. If you haven't done this before, I recommend you try the PVC version. I'll link it right up here. So this exercise is mainly to put on some muscle mass and gain strength depending on how we do the exercise. When you do the PVC version, just make sure you get that motion pattern down or that movement pattern down and stabilize properly before moving on to using more external weight. We're using a lot of different muscle groups, like I said, the lats, the traps, the rhomboids, Teres major, Teres minor, the brachialis, the brachioradialis. We're using the pectoralis major. We're going to be using the biceps and triceps secondarily. We're going to be stabilizing through the core and the obliques, TVA, glutes, hamstrings, spine erectors, doing a lot of different stuff here with just one movement, one single compound movement. Let's check out the exercise.
So you use two different grips. You can just use a normal grip with your thumb under the bar, full grip tightly, or you can go overhand with a monkey grip if you want to use less forearm in the movement. You're pretty much just going to deadlift the bar right up to your hips, and from there you're going to try to keep the shoulder blades back by pulling them into retraction the best you can. I prefer an over-exaggerated extension when you're using heavier weight, since it will tend to put you into a good position once you go into the next step. Lower the bar either right to above your knee or below your knee while keeping the bar against you. I tend to keep it above so I'm not smashing my knees every rep, but if you're practicing hang cleans frequently, below the knee may be useful. As you lower the bar, you will push your butt and hips back while keeping the chest up slightly. Again, preference is everything, and you will find your range as you do hundreds of reps. I prefer to be almost parallel to the floor with my spine, ideally, when doing this. Once you're in position and ready to lift, you're going to lift the weight anywhere from your hips to your sternum. Where you pull will determine what muscles will be engaged more or less. If you pull to the sternum, you may engage the traps more. If you pull more towards the hips, you may be able to use the lats more. I'm using three different forms in this video if you watch. The first form, I'm going to pull right to the belly button. The second form, I'm going to pull up to the sternum, so up just under my chest. And the third form, I'm dragging. It's more like a drag pull. I'm pulling right to my hips. Through your pull, you want to stretch the lats while keeping the elbows pretty close to the rib cage. I prefer either right against or no more than a few inches away from the ribs unless you're intentionally going for a wider grip. As you pull back into the body, focus on pulling fast and hard into a contraction with all the major muscles being used while retracting the shoulder blades. Some key points. Keep the bar close to your body, as people tend to let the bar get away from them, and this is where you'll start to run into trouble putting too much tension on the T-spine and lower lumbar spine area. At that point, your spinal erectors will really have to fight and will usually be doing more work than necessary through the movement. You want to make sure you are not overextended in any area of the spine, and definitely not overflexed or arched over. Rounding of the spine is pretty much a no-no here.
So after watching that demonstration, you can see some of the different checkpoints that we're going over here. We want to make sure that we are stabilized. We want to make sure that we're in control of the weight the whole time, and that we're not flying all over the place, jerking, leaning too far forward. Some worthy notes: we want to make sure that if we have lower back issues, we don't need to stay away from this exercise, but we want to gradually build after you've done the PVC and the barbell. So don't jump up and weight really quick here. Make sure you have control of your weight, even if it is lightweight. Go up a little bit at a time, 5, 10 pounds. And don't rush into things. Every week or every few days when you do this exercise, you'll get some growth. You'll gain some strength as time goes on. Some of the other things we want to pay attention to is, like I said, we don't want to jerk around. We don't want to be bending our knees and jerking with our hips and just doing these really spazzy, erratic motions with the barbell. Also, we want to make sure that we're not leaning too far forward. A lot of people have a tendency to lean too far forward, and then the bar will kind of get carried away from you, and at that point we really are risking injury. So keep that bar nice and close. I like to lean back with my hips into my heels, like I said earlier, and we want to just stay safe the whole time. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe. like the video, check out all of our links in the info tab below, and as always, hit it hard.